Alrighty, y'all. How you going? We're looking at some classic Holden V8 Supercar, some Aussie Supercar footage. Well, it's actually recent, but it is classic Supercar. 2008, 2009 Holden V8 Supercar to be exact, and we have the excellent, the great, the legend, Greg Murphy behind the wheel. Sounds really, really interesting. This is from very recently, and this was not in Australia, though. We have an Australian car. We have an Australian sports legend, of course, Greg Murphy. Of course, he'd be in a Kiwi, right? Correct? He is at the legendary circuit, the Brands Hatch GP. So this is pretty cool. I'm not too familiar with the track other than I know it's got some elevation change. I've played it years ago in games. I haven't been into gaming in a long time. I'm starting to finally get back into it. And this one could be a tough circuit if you're not careful, if I remember right, in the games. But it's actually a pretty fun one, a track I enjoyed. But I'm all for it. You know that this was the bread and butter of this channel for a long, long time. These Aussie V8 supercars, the old touring car footage, the muscle cars, the whole 9 yards. I love Australian motorsports, and this is a cool clash between Australian motorsports and a really cool track in the UK, of course, Brands Hatch. Now, this was suggested to me a couple times. I have the latest from jab_AU on Discord suggesting this, so I do appreciate that. Thank you. And if you want to watch this whole video uninterrupted, it'll be linked in the description down below as we will watch just a little bit of it. This comes to us from a channel called Holden Racing UK. Let's go. Yeah, this was July 1st, I believe, so very recent. Look at that car. Great car. There is indeed Greg Murphy. What a cool sight, right? I love that era. I think a lot of you watching that know a lot more than me and actually watch these races live. I'm sure a lot of you probably were somewhat fond of that era, right? Mid-2000s, around 2008 even, like this car is from. I can't wait to hear some great sounds. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be a good one. Ooh, that sounds hella good. That sounds so good, man. Here we go. Turn this all the way up. Oh, yeah. It's a warm-up lap, by the way. That gives me goosebumps. Oh man, wouldn't it be fun to drive one of these? Look at that beautiful course. Wow, that's a pretty place. Now, I know it's just a warm-up lap, but something tells me, you know, he's already blowing by some of these cars. Something tells me he might pass a car or two. Going full out, but everyone's going full out. God, that thing sounds great. I love everything. I love the gear line. I love the shifts. The engine is just singing. Oh, that looks so fun with that sequential gearbox. Man. Interesting field, too, of cars. I mean, a lot of these cars are different, right? I don't recognize a lot of them, honestly. So, but it's just kind of fun to soak in for me. All right, now here we are approaching, you can see the pits to the right. Here we go. On to a more full speed lap now, I believe. Yeah, I remember this from the video games. You cross the line and then you're immediately into this really long, sweeping turn that you can misjudge a little bit because you go up and it kind of goes down, so the visibility is a little weird at first. Yeah, lots of sweeping turns here. Great track. But it feels like you're turning a lot, you know? There's no long straights going on here. God, that thing sounds great. And he still got it. I think he's having fun behind the wheel of this thing. Oh my God. Nice clean run onto the curb there. He's taking great lines here. Nice. God, that thing sounds healthy too. What a car. Nothing like an old Holden. I mean, it's weird to think that 2008 is old now. It was a different era for sure, even though it's still somewhat recent. What a car though. That thing is great. Looks great, sounds great. Holden racing is just, it was exciting, wasn't it? I mean, remember, I'm a recent fan. I've only learned about this the last couple of years. And it's been a wild ride. It's been really exciting. I can't imagine growing up with this. Holden, being a Holden racing fan, you know, since the 70s, since the 80s, since the 90s, whenever. It's pretty cool. And it definitely, it sucks. It sucks to think that they're not around like this anymore. But keep these things going, man. You know, this is 2023 footage here of a beautiful 08, 09 Holden carving it up at the track. I love it. I'm here for it. This is a great suggestion, by the way. It's like an OG style video on my channel too. Like, I'm loving this. It's been too damn long. God, Greg Murphy's great, man. Look at those. Love the shifts, love the turning. Trying to see a little bit of his footwork down here. The guy's good. The guy is good, man. Woo. Beautiful. We're going to cut it there. That was only probably about half the video, guys. So make sure to check out the link in the description and check out their channel. You know, watch this whole thing and yada, yada. I think it's going to be a great one. And for a little more context, yeah, to recap, this was the 1st of July. V8 Supercar star Greg Murphy was reunited with his 0809 Sprint Gas Racing Holden V8 Supercar TMS 001, a car we have proudly owned since 2015. That's very cool. I'm glad to see people own these, take care of them, restore them, whatever the story is. I like that we can see, especially for people, you know, newer fans, for people that are younger, for kids, whoever, it's great to see cars from 08, from 88, from, you know, 94, from 71, whatever, right? I really love that there's events and, you know, people out there that can keep these cars going and even race them on the track. It's like time travel, right? It gives people the opportunity to see these things go again, you know, from decades past. I think it's great. Greg was over in the UK to race a Nissan Primera Super Tourer at the Super Touring Power event. As soon as we knew Greg was coming to our home circuit, we had to arrange for him to drive the car. How cool is that you guys got to reach out to Greg Murphy and were able to get him in this car, and he went at it. I mean, how exciting. It's even in its period-correct 2009 Bathurst livery. Very neat. He would drive the car on both days, first on the GP circuit and then on the Indy circuit. Both runs were part of a demonstration. TMS 001 was a car Greg and his dad actually owned after Tasman Motorsports, lost its funding. His team, Greg Murphy Racing, ran in a car in Super 2s for Jeff Emery, who would eventually buy the car and whom we purchased it from. Greg hadn't driven the car since 2009 and hadn't seen it for over 10 years. He wasn't quite sure what to expect, but was not disappointed when he jumped back in for the first time, amazed at the condition of the car and that everything was how it should be. His reaction was a huge pat on the back for us. That's really exciting. It's very safe to say Greg absolutely loved driving a car again at such a legendary circuit. It really was a pleasure to have him in a seat and see the genuine enjoyment he got from it. Don't miss the end of the footage to catch his reaction. And as bonus, we're going to just take a look at the end. I saw some comments and stuff. We got to see the end, I guess. So he's coming into the pits. Thing sounds glorious again, even at low RPM, even just rolling in. I love all the sounds of a race car, man. They're so raw and wild, you know?
How was it?
Oh, it's fucking amazing. that is so fucking cool.
You were getting quicker and quicker. I see, about lap 3, you've gone past lap 4.
There you go. Got some of that Aussie Kiwi dialect going on. I love it. No, I don't blame him. I'm sure he had an absolute blast. I had a blast watching this. I hope you did too. Please throw me your comments, your stories down below. Also, some more suggestions down there or on Discord or email, Instagram, wherever. I do appreciate it. This was a fun one, and this was definitely like the OG days in 2021, doing, you know, Bathurst and Aussie motorsport coverage. Just, it seemed like daily back then. This was really exciting for me, so I do appreciate that a lot. Throw a like on there if you smiled. Subscribe to be part of this amazing community we do have here. That being said, y'all, my name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, y'all, catch you later.